Hey, good evening. We're about a day away from hitting the road and driving northward, and I thought I would spend a few minutes and give you a quick tour of my pack and all the gear that's going with me. So let's take a tour. Okay, let's start with the big three. First up is the pack. It's made by Osprey. It's called the Ether AG 60. It's the 60-liter pack. I've hiked with this one for a while now, about 2 months. And like I said in most of my other videos, it's fitting really well, carries quite nicely. So looking forward to seeing how it does when it's fully loaded up. Along with the pack came what they call the brain. It's the top of the pack. Not sure if I'll actually need that, so that might actually stay. Additionally, I have the Thermarest Z seat to sit on, so you're not actually sitting on the ground or a rock. Something that's a little comfortable to be on whenever you're sitting down. You'll also notice my trekking poles. Those are by Black Diamond. They're the FLZ aluminum poles. I've also changed the tips out to the rubber tips for now, and also going to take a night light lamp. Actually try some night hiking. I want to see how that's going to work out. Additionally, I have a few items that I'm putting together with my pack, what I call pack items. I call it a chest pack, but it's a glorified fanny pack. But it's 1 liter, and it's really quick for me to be able to just put my phone in, some goodies, maybe a snack or two. It's also got a little clip with a little wallet on the inside, so I put my ID in there, as well as some cash and a couple credit cards if I need it, a medical card. Hopefully I won't need that one. Additionally, I have a dog tag that I purchased from a company called Road ID. It's got my information on it, contact information for in case of emergencies, and some other important stuff relative to medical condition in case they find my corpse on the side of the road. They'll at least be able to know who I am. And then I have my Garmin InReach Explorer, which worked out very, very well. Got the preset messages working, able to text back and forth so I can send updates and receive updates as well. So I'm looking forward to using that, as well as having that update my progress real time on the map at share.garmin.com/rambleafoot. I also have a compass, which you never leave without, and there's a little temperature thermometer there to measure the temperature, so I know what the temperature is outside. And also the plan, how many miles I'm going to try to shoot for, where my stops are going to be, where the water sources are, points of contact in case of emergency, the state police, the county sheriff, the U.S. Forest Office, as well as some other important information there. So that, in a nutshell, is number 1 of 3. All right, here we go with items, the big 3, items 2 and 3. Kind of have them together. The number 2 is your shelter. I'm going to use the Big Agnes Fly Creek 2 tent. It's not completely freestanding, but it's freestanding enough. But I'm excited to try it out because I can use it 2 ways. I can actually use the tent all the way around, or I can just kind of what they could call cowboy camping, where I can just set up the fly over the frame and just sleep underneath of it. So the sleeping system consists of a number of pieces. One is the made by Thermarest. It's the mattress. It's called the Z-Lite Zoll, which you see right there. It's the yellow and the silver one. Basically, that unfolds, and that's gonna be the bottom layer against the ground. And then I have the Z-Lite Neo Air, which is my inflatable mattress. So that's going to go on top. So I should be about an inch and a half off the ground and plenty of warm. I also have the Thermarest pillow, camping pillow, because I going to have a little bit of a comfort while I'm doing this craziness, as well as a liner to sleep inside the sleeping bag, so it doesn't get dirty. But with the weather the way it's supposed to be, I mean, I actually even use the sleeping bag. I'm almost tempted to leave it here. There will be one point where I'll be camping along the lake shore of Lake Superior, so I wanted to take some extra stakes in case I'm near the sand. I have a night light to hang from the center of the tent at night, so I can process videos, some other things, charging things inside the tent, as well as make some journal entries. I have a pack towel, which is in a separate container by itself, and that's just used. I'm only going to use that for wiping off condensation inside the tent if it's there. And then you also see the Thermarest Parsec. It's a minus 20 degree sleeping bag, as well as a dry sack there that I'm going to put it in to make sure it stays dry. So those items, the tent and the Thermarest items, sleeping bag, mattresses, and pillow, are my sleep system and shelter. Those are the big ticket items, number 2 and 3. Okay, let's move on to the kitchen items, in particular the stove. A bunch of items here, really. Some I'm trying out to see how they're going to work out. Some I don't know. They might work out well, they might not. Over here on the left-hand side, the red and blue are actually it's a bowl and a cup made by Sea to Summit. It's called X-Seal. But they actually have, they spring open, and the lids actually seal airtight, so you can soak food while you're actually hiking. So it's called cold soaking, and I'm going to try that for a couple of my meals as well. But I also love to have coffee in the morning. I can't imagine not having waking up without a cup of coffee. So the red cup is going to be my coffee cup. Over here we have two pots. Both are by Vargo. The first one right there you see is the Vargo Bot 700. That's going to be the main pot that I prepare my meals in. You'll notice it has a seal as well, so it's airtight, watertight once it's ready to go. And I have a Vargo 400 cup as well, with the orange piece, the silicon piece on the side is they're called hot lips, and it's to actually sip the cup, so you don't burn your lips on the titanium. The things behind them, this piece and these pieces, are called pot cozies. We put those together, and the idea is that your cup can go inside the pot cozy, and the pot cozy helps keep it warm. Same thing for the pot. I also have this little widget here, silicon, they're fingers basically, so you can pinch and pick up the pot. That's one item. I also have the pot lifter, which is titanium there. I'm going to try both of those and see which one I like best. So one will win, and then one of those won't be making the next trip. I have my spork, also by Vargo, titanium based. This is the windscreen for the stove. I have the stove fuel holder, the fuel canister itself, and there's the actual stove. There's my Bic lighter to light the stove. And all of that gear there will be put into stuff sack right there, and then all of that will go inside this clear plastic packaging there. That's called an ops sack. It's actually an odor free or an odor barrier bag, so all the food odors will actually stay inside the bag. They won't be able to be smelled outside the bag. So that's the kitchen. Let's move on to the next item. Okay, the next item is water filtration. Pretty simple here. Going to take 2 standing 1 liter bottles of water. These are smart water bottles. These are pretty standard. A lot of most of the research and hikers currently and in past years hiking different trails, this seems to be the go-to bottle. I have 3, so I'm going to have 2, 1 inside or 2 inside the pack and 1 in my side pocket. That's the one with the straw, so I can just this will attach to my pack, and I'll just be able to sip right out of the bottle as I want to. I don't have to stop and feel for the bottle and move it around. So that should make things a little easier. The actual filtering process, there's 3 filters, and they're right in front of you. Maybe you don't even notice it, but one is a bandana. Depending on the water, if it's really got a lot of mixture in it, you can always filter the water through the bandana first and into your other filters. So I have that to begin. Don't know that I'll need it that much because most of the water sources look like they're pretty fresh, but you never know. The second filtering mechanism is Katai dyeing. It's part of the Be-Free system. This is a 1 liter container, and it's got a filter in the bottom of it. So the idea is put the water in there, filter it through that filter and into one of the bottles, which will actually become a dirty bottle. And then that will get filtered with the Sawyer squeeze, which this end just screws right on top of the smart water bottle. And then I'm going to take the pop lid here that pops on and off, the blue lid. I'm going to put it on top of the Sawyer squeeze here, replace the white one, and be able to just sip out of the bottle. This is used, these are things that are going with it, because if the Sawyer squeeze does get plugged up, you can always, it does need to be backflowed or cleaned out. So that's going to go along as well. So that is the water filtration system. Okay, what are we going to wear? Whew. Well, this one was tough. So start from the top and work down. So I have a bandana and a hat as well. The hat is made by Outdoor Research. It's actually a sun hat. It comes with a second piece, which you don't see here, but it can actually hang down on the back over your neck to keep you from getting sunburned. So depending on what the weather's like, I may have to use it, may not have to use that. T-shirt and briefs. A lot of people on the trail swear by officio, but I read some reviews that said they used to be excellent to use, but lately the fabric has been not the same. So I thought I would give it a shot and go with the Duluth brand, the Armachillo. It's a wicking type of fabric, and it's supposed to be pretty tough and pretty comfortable. And I already wear a different version of the briefs by Duluth, so I think I'll be pretty comfortable with those. I have a shirt by Outdoor Research. It's a long sleeve shirt. I don't know that I'll need it, but I am. You are able to roll up the sleeves, so. If I need it, I need it. I have it. If not, it'll be in the pack. Then shorts. So these are actually pants and shorts together. They convert. There's a zipper right here, and you can unzip the bottoms, and they become a pair of shorts. So with the current weather conditions that's called for over the next 10-day forecast, it'll definitely be shorts. So. I also have some socks. The socks are by a company called Darn Tough. They're out of Vermont. They're guaranteed for life. They cost a little bit more, but if you're going to go put a couple hundred to a couple thousand miles on a pair of socks, they must be guaranteed for life. So you actually see 3 pairs there. The pair on the left, the black pair, are wigwams. That's actually a sock liner. and I got that idea from a current hiker that's doing the PCT. He's done the ACT. His name's Darwin, and his blog is Darwin on the Trail. You can see all of his videos on YouTube as well. Got some great tips, and he swears by those. So going to give those a shot, see how they work. If those don't work, the other common item is to use they call it Injinsi's socks. They're socks that actually have little toes in them in the bottom, so that each little toe goes in its own separate little piece of fabric, which means they can't rub together, so they can't get blisters. So we're gonna give that a shot. My shoes are by Ultra. They're the Ultra, the Lone Peak. I think these are the 3.5s. I got a size 9. I typically wear a size 8.5 because you're supposed to get them bigger. And I wanted to have these out so I can make a note and explain to you that I took the bottoms, the soles, the insoles out, and I replaced those with the Dr. Scholl's insoles for extra support and comfort. So those are the items that I will be wearing when I start the hike. Okay, some other items that are going with me. I can't imagine. At night, the temperature is supposed to get, the lowest is supposed to be 62. I can't imagine needing it, but there will be a couple nights where I'll be really close to the lake, to Lake Superior, and depending on the wind, it might get a little chilly. I don't know. So I am going to bring my Mountain Hardwear puffy jacket. If you look at the thing, it looks huge, but if you pick it up, it is like crazy light. I don't know how they do it. But it's light, it's warm, and yeah. So I can't imagine not taking it with me. I also have some extra socks, an extra T-shirt, extra pair of underwear or briefs, and I'm also taking some sleepwear. So these are by Smart Wool. I have a pair of socks, a pair of briefs, and a T-shirt to sleep in, and I also am going to bring, by Smart Wool as well, a base layer for a long sleeve wool shirt and a long sleeve wool bottoms for the night when I actually try cowboy camping. I want to see how that works out as far as the temperature goes. It's supposed to rain Saturday and Sunday, both days thunderstorms. So obviously, I'm going to be taking my rain gear. I have the outdoor research jacket, as well as the bottoms. They come quite highly rated. So it looks like I'll probably actually just get out of the car, put them on, and keep them on for the next 2 days. It'll be fantastic. I'm also taking a pair of Tevas. I think these are the Hurricane 3s or something, just to get out of my trail runners and just let my feet air out and still be able to walk around camp and do the other things I need to do. So that is the additional clothing that is going inside my pack. Okay, let's quickly go over some of these items that you have to have, toiletry items. Just real briefly, all the common things that most of the hiking world takes with them when they're hiking. The Gatorade bottle, that's for night, so you don't have to get out of the tent. Toilet paper. There's a trowel. That's a product by it's called the Deuce of Spades. That's to dig your cat hole. So when you need to do your business in the woods. I also have some Gold Bond Ultimate Lotion for my feet, as well as some Body Glide to help with some blisters. I have some hand sanitizer. I wanted to take this one because it's actually autographed by one of my colleagues at work. They got together and they had her sign it because she's kind of the germaphobe in the office. And the problem is it's too big to fit into the jelly carrier. So this one is actually going to stay home. It might actually become a keepsake, but Lolita, I wanted you to know, I I, uh, I did I did point it out in a video. So there you go. Along with getting rid of some of those more of those germs, we have some soap, Dr. Bronner soap. I also have this is called Helen's Knows Best lip balm. It's supposed to be just incredible. So have a tube of that, as well as some sunscreen, some SPF 50. So when the sun does come out on Monday or Tuesday, I'll be able to actually use it. I have a number of medications, Advil, Tylenol, allergy medicine, things like that in there. 2.3 ounces worth of goodies inside that canister. And I also have my toothbrush, toothpaste, dental floss, and nail clippers. And of course, those will all go into this stuff stack here. And that should get me through the entire trip. Let's move on to the next item. Okay, food. Well, got to have a place to put it, so it's all going to go in this. This is technically a bear bag made by a company called Z-Packs. It comes with rope to suspend the bag above and into a tree, and it's got a little carabiner there. So the idea is you just throw all your food in there, seal it up at the top, roll it down 3 times, clip it together, and then hoist it up and keep it 12 feet off the ground and 10 feet away from a tree, and your food should be there the next morning. I do also have gallon Ziploc bags that I'm going to put my food in. I'm going to set those up, one bag for each day, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, so I know exactly what I have planned. And I think that is a kind of a good way of doing it, because then you can plan for how many calories you're going to consume a day. I also have the OpSac odor-proof bag, which all of the food will go into when it goes into the bear bag. I'm going to close that up too as well. So then that should be an odor barrier, and technically the animals shouldn't even smell the food. So I think we'll be okay. Moving on to I wouldn't call these necessities, but in some regards they might be. It's kind of the I'm calling it the safety kit, medical kit, repair kit. So Band-Aids. I got some KT tape for blisters there. Inside the blue tape there, that's just that's blue tape you use when you do painting. But there's a number of needles in there. I have from a really small one, so if you have to actually take care of a blister, I can do that. Or if I actually have to sew something back together, I can do that as well. Some crazy glue in a pinch. May have to put something back together, as well as an extra lighter to sanitize the needles, and then the thermal rest repair kit. Some Gorilla Tape. I won't take the whole roll. I'll actually spool some of this off and put it around, probably around one of my bottles, to be honest with you, one of my water bottles. And all of that will go into a quick stuff sack right there, and that's the repair kit. I also have another little bag here. It's got some odds and ends in it. It's got a flashlight, some extra batteries, couple carabiners, some straps. There's a Leatherman inside there as well, and just extra items, not necessarily needed, but I just for a little bit of a comfort factor and a little bit of a safety factor, I wanted to make sure I had those just in case. Okay, moving on. We also have a mosquito net, as well as some Ben's DEET formula to help ward off the mosquitoes. I have a pocket knife for everyday carry, and I have the one next to it. These are both by CRKT is the manufacturer. But one's a little neck knife, so it can hang around your neck and you have easy access to it. It's not very big, but slicing cheese or scooping out some peanut butter, something like that, it'll work just perfect. In here, these are actually homemade. They're little stretch cords, like miniature bungee straps that I made, and as well as some Velcro straps. I have some clothespins. I'm bringing along 4 of those in case I need to actually hang something from my pack and let it dry. And then last but not least, every good hiker should have a journal. So I have a journal and a pen. This was gifted to me by a good friend at work. Her name's Catherine. You may notice on a couple of my blogs it says this blog post is Catherine approved. So that's the backstory on that. She's the devil behind me that keeps insisting I keep writing. So I will keep trying. All right, let's move on to the next category. Yep, you guessed it, electronics. What would the world be without electronics, right? So how are we going to do this? Well, what am I taking? First, I'm taking an iPad and my iPhone that I'm currently using to actually record this video, to do the video editing, and record video while I'm on the trail. I also have this guy right here. You may have seen this in some of my previous videos. It's by YoCam. It's a miniature camera, but the thing I like about this is you can set it up for life mode, it's called, and it will take a picture every 60 seconds. So I can just strap it to my pack, and every 60 seconds as I go, it can take a photograph. So if I'm in a place where I may not actually be able to stop and use the camera, I can still do some action shots and photographs, things like that, while I'm working. This is a Pelican case with, there's actually a terabyte of SD cards in there, believe it or not, but that's actually waterproof, and I'll be able to close that up, and then everything inside will stay nice and dry. I'm also taking the Nikon D7100 with an 18 to 55 millimeter lens, and on top, I don't know if you can see it, I'll try to zoom in a little bit, is a Spark unit, it's called. It's a remote control. I can release the camera shutter with my phone using that, and I can also program it to do time-lapse shots and some other interesting things. So I can't wait to maybe do some night photography if the weather cooperates. A little tripod to hold the camera, so I can do some camera shots. And this is a remote trigger for the camera as well, so I can trigger the camera to do video and photos. Not the camera, my phone, I mean. So it's all, Apple iOS compatible. Have another tripod here for the camera. It's really kind of lightweight. It's flexible. You can bend it all kinds of directions. Thought I would take it along just in case. I'm not sure if I'll actually use it, but there may be a case where I could actually wrap the camera around a tree, for example. And then here we have these are new to me. I have tried the batteries. There's 2 batteries, but these are by a company called Rav Power. They make batteries for Nikons and Canon, and these are USB chargeable batteries. So that makes it really, really simple. So I don't need any AC to charge those batteries. And then everything gets powered by these little packages here. This is my Anchor, 21,000 milliamp hours of charge, a number of cables. Probably don't need all of those, but wanted to cover all the bases because I will be able to charge multiple things at multiple times. The Anchor power brick actually has two outlets in it, so I can charge it at any time. And that is it. That's the electronics. Okay, so that's everything that needs to fit into that pack. It does go in there. It just needs to be put together in a particular way, and maybe if I get a chance, I'll put together a small video on how the pack is actually all packed up. I'll leave a link right down there under the show more options, so you can click on it. It'll actually give you the details of all the items that I'm taking with me on this 100-mile thru hike. I wanted to say thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the trail.